All right. Hi, everyone. I've got Alison Hamilton here with me today, and I'm so pleased to be able to have a chat with her. Alison's got lots of great advice about how, as business owners, we can make the most of our database. Alison spent 17 years in sales at BMW, and then she moved on to operations manager at an exclusive handmade kitchen company. And to top it all off, she spent 5 years working with cancer patients in a non-mainstream cancer clinic. And now she's built her own business, which is called Smart Customer Retention. And it's all about how we as business owners can make the most of our existing database without having to constantly fight for new customers. Is that right?
It is. Well, that's a great introduction. Thank you very much, Kat. That sums it up perfectly.
Oh, welcome. Thank you very much for taking the time to have a chat with me today.
Oh, my pleasure.
Cool. So we'll dive right in because I know a lot of people want to find out about this. So when we met, you shared about how important it was to make the most of your existing database and to retain your existing customers. So tell me more about that.
Exactly. Well, the thing is, customers are very hard to come by, especially at the moment in the Perth market. You know, we're at the tail end of 3 years of really bad business. The people that we've already done business with are it's not fair to say they're an easy target. That's not what I mean. But they certainly are people that know us and trust us. For we should be looking at every opportunity with those particular people to cross-sell our products or upsell our services. Just make sure that they don't have an opportunity to forget who we are, where we are, and what we do. It's far cheaper, and I think the statistics show that you only have to increase your bottom line retention by 5% to actually potentially increase your profitability by 75%. Huge. And statistically, it's 7 times cheaper to keep an existing customer than it is always to be going out and getting new.
Yeah.
So it just makes sense to work with what we've got and build a solid foundation. And then the new customers are the icing on the cake.
Yeah, because what you said before about how our database already knows us and likes us, that's the whole thing. People buy from people that they know, like, and trust. And with our existing database, we've done the hard work already.
Exactly. And although the internet is there and it's widened our marketplace, it still comes down to people. People buy from people. And you can have the best website in the world, but if it isn't backed by someone they can talk to, if the service isn't what it should be, you won't get them back again.
Yeah.
So it's important.
So what are some of the ways that we can make the most of our existing database?
Well, communication is key. The thing with every business is, depending on someone's reason for being in business, the way they treat their customers will be slightly different. So no two businesses that offer the same services really will treat their customers in identical ways because they're why they're in business. And so consequently that should mirror. But communication is key. And it's got to be authentic communication. It's got to be relevant. And it should be consistent as well.
Okay, cool. Your video went a little bit crackly there, but I think we got the gist of it. You said about communication should be consistent.
Absolutely, regular and consistent. And it should be in keeping with who you are as a business owner.
Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah, so in your language, the language that resonates with your clients and the way they want to be communicated. If all your clients are hanging out on Facebook, then you don't send pictures on Instagram to them if they're on Facebook, right?
Exactly. You've got to find out who your customers are. You've got to find out what they're about. And then you've got to make all of your communications about them, not about you. You just want them to remember who you are and to be seen as an educator in many ways.
Yeah, excellent. Yeah. And if they prefer reading a blog post, then you write a blog. If they prefer watching a video, then you make a video.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
And if there's, most people don't realise how direct it is to contact people via email as well. And so email marketing shouldn't be discounted, but it should be properly.
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, definitely do it properly. Because there's a right and a wrong way to do it. So on that, what's a really big or common mistake that you see some people making?
Pitching for business.
Okay.
You have to respect someone's personal space, and an email is their personal space. So consequently, when you're talking to them, you want to talk to them about things that they're interested in. Now, okay, there needs to be relevance as to why you're emailing. So it needs to be a little bit about you, but mostly it should be informative and educational so that they always think, there'll be something in there for me. That That's why I want to read it. If you don't do that, if you try and pitch for business, you'll simply switch people off, because people want to be respected. People want to be treated as though they have a choice, not as though, that's all you want them for. You want them as friends, really. Treat them as you would do your best friend.
Yeah, just about building that relationship and adding value and
exactly
content and being generous.
Yeah, not being too over familiar. When I say like your best friend, I don't mean them everything, but treat them the way that you want to be treated, because ultimately that's why they're buying from you. There's 50, they might drive past 50 or 60 different businesses to get to yours. There's so much competition. The only thing that sets you apart from your competitor, if you've got an identical product, is the service you offer. And the service you offer to your customers will be different to the service they offer to theirs, because that's just how it goes. You resonate with different people.
Yeah, and when you say service, it's not the product or service, it's the communication. It's the way that you start a conversation. It's little reminders that you send. It may be a thank you gift or a birthday card or something.
Exactly. It's the attention to detail. And it's the tiny things. It's not the big things that customers really remember. It's the little things. And someone where something goes wrong, don't ever shy away from them, because they become your best advocate.
Fantastic opportunity. Sorry, I cut you off at the end there when I spoke. What was the last thing that you said?
It's a fantastic opportunity to turn them into being your best customer, providing you handle it properly.
Yes. Yeah, I love customer complaints because it's an opportunity to go above and beyond and to fix things. And you're absolutely right that they can turn around and become your best customer because you've served them so well.
Exactly. Well, a good customer doesn't need to experience any of that.
Yeah.
So they just take for granted that everything just runs smoothly. But, it can't do that 100% of the time, because we're all human.
Yeah. Excellent. All right, I love that. Okay, so you might have some people who've been in business for years and years and years, and they've never done a newsletter. And also some people that have just started and they opened up shop a month ago and they've got 5 people on the database. Is it too late or too early for anyone to start?
It's never too early, for sure, because even if you only have one customer and you do a newsletter, it may seem a little bit like overkill, but that one customer, every newsletter you send out is going out to one customer. Sure. It's just you have 500 lots of one customers. You might only have one customer, but it's individual to that person, if that makes sense. So it's never too soon to do it, and it's never too late to start. If you've never done it before, then try it. Dip your toe in the water and speak to people. Be honest with them about why you're sending a newsletter, starting a community. Explain that you're wanting to engage with people, you're wanting to offer some informative information, and that you want them to be part of your community. No one likes surprises. But just look at what you're doing and think, if that arrived in my inbox, would I read it? Would I delete it? Would I unsubscribe? Because chances are whatever you do is exactly what the person you're sending it to will do as well.
Yeah. I think that's what puts a lot of people off, is that they think, I never read newsletters, I just delete them. So therefore they don't think that they should do it either.
But the thing is, of course, that may be because they weren't being done properly. If you think about it logically, because everyone says to me, emails, I get so many of them, I don't want to add to that. But if you think about it logically, it's the first thing you do. When you go to it, you'll do one of 3 things. You'll go down it and you'll either delete it, you'll put it to one side to come back to, or you'll prioritize it. And of course, you'll work on the priority ones, and so you should. But then you've got these other ones that you think, I'll come back to. Now, you may never go back to them, but the fact that they're sat there is because you've psychologically understood who it's from, and you've thought there may be something in there for me. Now, if nothing else changes, then they're going to see my name or your name or whoever it is. You're going to see that name, and we need to see the name at least 7 times before we even start to be remembered. But we also live in such a stressful, disposable world that unless we're in front of them, not when I say regularly, I'm talking about kind of monthly. I wouldn't do it weekly unless you really do have a very strong message or a good reason. Monthly is about right, to respect people's space, but to say, hi, I'm still here. This is what we do. And this is what we're giving you today. We're giving you something. Mm-hmm. Because not only will it give you an opportunity to cross-sell your services, it's an opportunity for that person to network you, to their contacts as well. You know, if you're at a barbecue and someone says that, oh, business is really tough and I'm really struggling and I don't know where to, you know, I don't know how to generate more business, and you're not going to be thinking of me, but let's say my newsletter comes through, it'll prompt you, and you might just say, oh, Julie needed that, I'll forward it on to her.
Yeah.
And that's how this grows. It's not always who we know, it's about who our
they know
that they're willing to put us in front of.
Yeah, awesome.
And that's your next best customer as well, isn't it? A referral.
Yes. Yeah, love that. All right, so taking the example of a newsletter, and let's say we've never done it before, we want to start out, what are 2 or 3 things that are really important to include in the newsletter?
All right, short and sharp, so you don't want it to be long-winded. You've got to make sure that it will present well, whether it's opened on a laptop, a computer, or a mobile phone. And it's just got to be, the first paragraph really should be an opening sentence. So however you would greet people, just a very small opening paragraph. And then maybe a couple of different items. Don't go more than 3 items because you've got a very short attention span. That is relevant to your industry, maybe one that's general and one that's trivia. It doesn't matter why people read your newsletter. What we want them to do is to be going to it for some reason. So if someone's a regular pub quiz goer and it's the trivia that keeps them there, fine, make it trivia. Don't make it too serious, but do make it relevant.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I love that. Yeah, definitely. So short and sweet, keep it relevant, and make that first paragraph really introductory, like you're talking to a friend.
Absolutely. And for small business people, we know it's not easy because although we're very good in our given trades, marketing isn't necessarily one of them. So we do have options. There are people that will do it for you. I can organise that as well. That's part and parcel of my little bag of tricks, if you like. So if people really are overwhelmed by it, there are ways of doing it that don't cost a fortune.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, great. So aside from what you can offer people, you've got your business and you've been running for a little while now. I'd love to know, sorry, what was that?
I said, that absolutely. We've been running for a little while now.
Yeah, good. Okay. I want to know what it is that you love about what you do.
What I love about what I do, Kat, is that everybody's business is individual. Even if I see, say, one plumber and then I go straight on to another plumber, their businesses are different because the way that they operate are different. And the reason they're in business is different. So that's what I love. And I don't know very often what I'm going into when I meet with new people. So the first meeting I always do is a free meeting. It's a meeting like we had where we just have a cup of coffee and a catch up and we find out a bit more about each other. And then if there's an opportunity for some help, then obviously we discuss what that can be, and if they're willing, we go ahead. And that can be varied. It can be as much as walking into someone's premises and just being a fresh pair of eyes, because you did a talk yourself a little while ago about how the brain operates. Well, the brain take the path of least resistance, and that means that we stop seeing sticky handprints everywhere. We stop hearing what some people in our business are saying. We stop seeing the stain on the carpet. But when you're a customer walking in for the first time, each and every one of those tiny little things that you don't see in your business any longer is making an impression. So even if someone says, well, okay, will you just come and spend an hour walking around my business? It's valuable. Someone says, can you spend an hour and come in and brainstorm with us some ideas on how to generate additional sales, on what we can do differently? It's valuable information. So it's very varied, and it really depends. Some people just say, well, look, I do want to set up some communications. What can I do? Other people might be saying, I need to be looking at what CRM system I need to introduce. And then it's a question of just finding out what it is they want to achieve, how they want to achieve it, maybe offering some advice if not too sure on sales themselves. It really is vastly different with every customer, and that means 2 days are the same.
Yeah. Awesome, great. What about challenges? What's the biggest challenge you've dealt with in your business so far?
Well, the biggest challenge for me is people like to do what they've always done. And you can't do that. We're in a very fast-paced world. We're in an ever-changing world. When you look at the changes that have happened in business in just the last 10 years, it's exponential. And that's the way it's going to continue. So if we continue doing what we've always done, we're going to find ourselves in trouble. We really are, because we're not going to progress at the right speed. So you always need to be speaking to people. And that's the same no matter what industry. You know, you're a consultant, I'm a consultant, but we consult on very different things. And the thing is, the reason that you should go to someone that specializes in a particular area of business is because it really is saving you time and money guessing what's going to work and what isn't going to work. And that's very valuable, whether it's in how to strategize your business or how to increase your sales or how to just polish up on what you're already doing. So any business that feels just a tiny bit stable really should be looking at their systems, really should be thinking, okay, we need some fresh ideas. And there's nothing quite like someone that isn't in that industry to come in with some fresh ideas.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So a couple of life questions for you as well, so we can see if our viewers resonate with this as well. Who do you follow? Do you have like role models or mentors?
No, not any one particular. It depends what I'm focusing on. For example, when I first went into sales and I wanted to be the best salesperson there was, I watched my colleagues and I took the best parts of what they did and I kind of worked it into something that worked for me. When I worked in the cancer clinic, I wanted to speak to the people that were getting good results. I wanted to understand what else they were doing. I wanted to understand why perhaps they had a good response to treatment when perhaps someone else didn't. So I've got a naturally curious mind, and that means that I go off to different places and I seek different mentors. There's nothing you can't find on the internet now with Google. You've got to use your judgment a little bit. You've got to be able to trust your instinct. But if someone's got what I want, I'll take advice from them. I'll look at what they're doing and I'll ask myself, does that resonate with me? Do I think that will work for me? So I've got many different people that I look up to. If they've got what I want, I tend to take their advice. If they haven't got what I want, but they're still giving me advice, I'll listen and I'll decide for myself whether there's any validity in it.
Yeah, that's really good. One of my mentors has the question, who are you and what have you done? So if they're getting the results that you want, then by all means take their advice. If not, then no.
Exactly. Exactly, because it's, you know, they know there's a path, isn't there? And you've either walked the path or you haven't. And if you haven't walked the path, you don't really know where the pit holes, you know, you don't know where the pitfalls are. So,
and so many of us have well-meaning family and friends who have never run a business that tell us how bad it is and how scary it is and how risky it is.
Exactly. Yeah. And if you listen to them, just imagine how bad things be, because we would be basing, you know, you've said yourself before in talks that you base your thoughts. So every single one of your thoughts comes through in what you say.
Yeah.
So if you don't believe in if you allow negative to give you negative advice, then that's what will come through.
Yeah, absolutely. Awesome. Well, before we wrap up, I just want to make sure that can our viewers get in touch with you if they want to find out more information about what you've shared?
Of course they can. They can visit my website, which is www.smartcr.com.au. That's short for Smart Customer Retention. They can give me a call on 0474 777 113, or they can email me at Alison with just one L, ALISON, at smartcr.com.au. Awesome. And I'd be delighted. I love lots of different industries. I love the variety.
Thank you. All right, well, I'll make sure to put the links down the bottom as well.
Perfect. Thanks, Kat.
Thank you. So before we go, one last thing. What's one bit of business or life advice that you'd want our viewers to take away?
You know, the one bit of advice, always treat people the way you want to be treated, no matter who they are. It's easy for us to be nice to the nice people that we get on with. Make that extra special little effort with the ones that naturally gel with, because they have their own issues. They have something going on in the background that we don't know about. If we treat them the way they've just treated us, then it's going nowhere. But if we can turn their day around by being our authentic selves, do you know what? We can change lives.
Yeah.
And by doing that, we all get what we want.
Yeah, I love that. And I'd take that a step further as well and say to treat people the way they want to be treated. Because there's so many
Yes,
different types of personalities and different ways that people like to behave. And yeah, if you can figure out how they like to be treated, then respond to them in that way.
exactly. That's good advice as well, Kat. Well done.
Thank you. Well, thank you so much, Alison, for your time. I really appreciate it. It's been valuable. And I hope that everyone out there has taken some really key learnings about how to retain customers and how to do a newsletter with, yeah, just to get started.
Absolutely. Well, thanks, Kat. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, pleasure. Okay, we'll speak to you guys soon.
Will do. Take care.